How AI remembers. Okay, so have you ever stopped to think about how your AI assistant can remember your flight details from, like, this morning, but also your favorite pizza topping from a year ago? It's pretty wild, right? Well, today we're going to peek behind the curtain and break down the secret to how AI memory actually works.
I mean, it really does feel like magic, doesn't it? 1 second, it's keeping track of a super complicated question you just asked, and the next, poof, it's pulling up some preference you set forever ago. So what's the deal? How is it managing the here and now and your entire history all at once?
Well, the secret isn't just one giant computer brain. Nope, it's actually way more clever than that. It's all built on 3 totally different systems, and each one has a very specific job to do.
So to really get a handle on this, let's use a great analogy. Let's imagine we're talking to a super smart AI travel agent. We're going to follow this agent as it helps us plan the perfect trip. And by doing that, we'll see exactly how these different memory systems click together to give us a really smart, really helpful experience. Okay, let's start with the most in-the-moment memory.
All right, first up, the AI's short-term memory. The absolute best way to picture this is like a digital notepad. It's where the AI is scribbling down everything that's happening right here, right now.
And the key thing to get here is that this memory is totally temporary. Think of it like a workspace just for the task at hand. It's designed to hold on to info only for as long as your current conversation is going.
So this notepad is what lets the AI keep up with what you're asking, like when you're searching for a flight. It's holding on to all the details. But, and this is super important, the second your session ends, that notepad gets wiped totally clean. Okay, here's a perfect example in action. The agent says this, right? It's basically just reading back the notes it literally just took on its digital notepad. It's double-checking all those temporary details to make sure it's got everything right. This is all happening inside its short-term memory.
And if we peek under the hood for a second, it can look as simple as this. See that clear session function? That's literally the wipe the notepad clean button. It's the thing that hits reset on the AI's working memory so it's fresh for the next person.
Okay, so if short-term memory is just a temporary notepad, what happens when the AI needs to remember something, forever? Well, for that, you need a whole different system. You need the AI's file cabinet.
And this is long-term memory. This is the AI's permanent stash of knowledge. We're not talking about a messy notepad anymore. This is like a super organized, permanent library of everything it knows.
Yeah, unlike that notepad, this memory is built to last. It's where the agent squirrels away all the important stuff, facts, your preferences, past data, things that are going to be useful today, tomorrow, and even a year from now.
So inside this file cabinet, our AI travel agent keeps your profile. We're talking your entire travel history, what you like, what you don't like, maybe even some feedback you gave it. This is the absolute key to personalization. It's how the agent actually gets to know you over time.
And here you see that long-term memory kicking in. The agent just went into its file cabinet, took a look at your history, and saw a pattern. Hey, this person always books a window seat. So it uses that permanent piece of info to make a smart suggestion, and you don't even have to ask. Pretty cool.
Okay, but this is where things get really interesting. So the AI knows facts about you, right? But can it learn from its experiences? From how things actually played out? To do that, we need a third, even more advanced type of memory. Say hello to episodic memory. So if long-term memory is the file cabinet full of facts, think of this as the agent's personal diary. It doesn't just remember that something happened. It remembers the whole story, what led up to it, and what the final outcome was. The 2 magic words here are episodes and outcomes. This memory is all about recording the step-by-step story of an interaction and, crucially, connecting the actions to the results. This is the secret sauce that lets an AI actually learn from what went right and, maybe more importantly, from what went wrong.
So by keeping this diary, the agent can flip back through the pages and see what worked and what totally bombed. It can spot patterns, figure out why a trip was a total headache, and, this is the big one, it can avoid making the exact same mistake again.
And this is a total game changer. Look at this. The agent isn't just pulling a fact from a file, like your seat preference. No, it's remembering an entire story. That time with a super short layover, the stress, almost missing your next flight. It learned from that bad experience and is now using that memory to give you a much smarter, safer option. That's next level.
So let's recap. We've got the notepad for the now, the file cabinet for the facts, and the diary for the stories. Any one of these on its own is cool, but not that powerful. The real magic, the real intelligence, happens when they all start working together.
Let's walk through one last example to see it all click. First, you say, I need a flight to Hawaii next week. Boom, that goes right on the short-term notepad. Then, the AI instantly opens your long-term file cabinet and remembers you like morning flights on United. But then, here's the amazing part. It checks its diary, recalls your last Hawaii trip was to Maui, and uses that memory to suggest trying Kauai this time. You see? All three systems working in perfect harmony to give you a suggestion that's not just correct, but truly thoughtful.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. It's this beautiful combination of the notepad, the file cabinet, and the diary that turns an AI from just a simple tool into a genuinely capable partner. It's what separates a basic calculator from a true assistant that can remember, understand, and actually learn.
And that leaves us with a pretty deep question to chew on, doesn't it? As these AI memory systems get more and more like our own, remembering not just facts but our actual experiences, where do we draw the line? At what point does a smart tool become a true collaborator? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for diving into this with me.